No, getting you on film. What are you doing?
It's not very straight.
You'll get it. That's what the uni bit's for.
Oh, okay.
You'll get it. Brother in Charles's garage here, he opened up a can of worms and things started snowballing really quick on this car. It all started when he was having fun in games, and he says he was just driving down the road. You guys would have seen it in the video. He was just driving along and all of a sudden he lost third gear. Only third? You fuck up fourth too.
Third.
Just third. So third gear was gone. Pulled the transmission out. He found the Tremec 3550 and got that in. Had to upgrade the clutch because it has a different spline count on it. So you McLeod clutch now?
Yes.
Yeah, so the McLeod away from the center force?
I think that's what it was.
Or what was the spec? Did something come with a spec?
Oh, that was my BMW.
All right, see, we're getting things confused. See, he likes blue. Hey, for those that asked about 335, this is a 335 race car. So he races this one on the Coda track. Got the little Coda. Dude, you got the sticker after Shannon ripped it off.
Yeah.
So when he first got the car, his wife actually took the sticker off because it had the previous owner's Instagram handle on here. So she took both off and he was really upset that he lost the Coda circuit. So he had another one made up. Anyway, so as things snowballed, did the transmission, did the clutch, noticed oil leaks, and that translated into pretty much the timing cover came off, the water pump came off again, valve covers came off, and intake, manifold, everything ended up getting powder coated black because he didn't want to deal with polishing and all the elbow grease. And then ultimately the Pro Charger came off. And for anybody who's paid close attention, the power steering used to be over here, and the Pro Charger sat right about here. Well, we're in Texas, this car is no longer in Canada. Charles wants air conditioning. So you can see this is an AC-less option car. It is not coming out of the firewall. So ultimately the dash needs to come out, heater box needs to get swapped so he can get an evaporator. And there is the Pro Charger. So this was upgraded from what, P1S, D1S?
No, it actually stayed the P1.
Okay.
Because you have to upgrade the external to go to the D1.
Gotcha.
But they did put a new bracket on and
nice.
They rebuilt it.
So I always complain that gear oil is the worst smell in the world. And here's a story for you. So I was at Byron's shop yesterday and he was talking about the Pro Charger that he has for a Ford that he wants to use. And he's like, dude, that is the worst smell I've ever smelled before in my life. I'm like, you talking about when you took the blower apart? He's like, yes. And hands down, it is worse than gear oil and a rotten bag of potatoes mixed together. Like, it is just absolutely disgusting. They are self-contained units. You are supposed to change the oil
every 3,000 miles.
3,000 miles. So you're supposed to change the oil in that like you do your vehicle. And I bet you the oil in that's probably never been changed. So probably a good thing everything came off. All the maintenance is getting sorted out. And getting back to the point on power steering moving, putting AC on, well, the whole bracket system needed to get updated here, which this is going to allow for the AC compressor to be in the factory location for factory installed AC. So now we've got all the brackets, the factory ones that go here, and the Pro Charger ultimately is going to get mounted really close over here on the driver's side. And we needed to drill one hole. That's all you need to do apparently. And that is for, I believe, this guy right here. So we mocked this up, we put it on, marked out the hole, he drilled the hole, or is drilling the hole.
Oh, that's done.
Oh, it's done. So there we go. So this hole right here needed to be drilled, and that is to have all the additional support and everything that we're gonna need for this Pro Charger to fit. So I'm gonna go ahead now. Did you test with the bolt through the hole?
Which one?
it's going to be one of the Pro Charger ones in the parts list. So we've got all these additional support brackets, new fancy hardware. It might actually be this on that.
Well, then I need to go much bigger.
No. That's going to go on the backside. So I think this goes through here, goes through the bracket, and this goes on the backside to shim out the tensioner. I'm trying to go based off what I sort of remember reading earlier, but that's what we're going to mess with. Hopefully get all this buttoned up, get the blower mounted. We also had to, if you look way down in there, you see a shiny looking, almost like a wheel spacer. Well, that's a crank pulley spacer. So there was a, what was it? An inch? No, it was 3/4 of an inch ish. And what happened is with the new setup of things, so by putting the factory alternator bracket on, because over here it was all aftermarket bracketry that actually had everything spaced out. So when we went back to the factory alternator bracket, we had to open it up in the back for 3G alternator, put on. I know Gary from Castle Customs, he loves this little guy here, so that way you know which belt you're ordering instead of a shorty belt. So now he'll be running the factory AC accessory drive belt on the car, and he'll always know that. So all of those brackets from factory have been restored here, and what that did is it moved the drive assembly inward 1/4 of an inch. So we actually had to get a different spacer to bolt in there, so that way our drive belt will line up accordingly. So we got all the ribs lined up now. Everything should be nice and straight. And I think that's about it in terms of...
Oh no, we had to add the, what was it, that extra little radiator thing?
Oh, the condenser.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got the condenser installed here. And just needs to be kind of wedged into place. These aftermarket mounts and stuff, like if your car doesn't have AC, you got to really, when you're tightening these on, make sure you have these kind of all the way down and the bottom ones all the way up, just so that you can get enough pressure on the condenser so it's going to want to stay in place. So that's where we're at. Time to get all this mocked up. Hopefully it'll bolt together pretty easily. It's an opportunity to clean up the wiring in here. If you guys remember, I kind of did a little bit of it and put this relay in for the starter before. So now we've got a positive distribution block here, and we'll be able to, depending where the blower ends up, we'll be able to get this cleaned up and mounted. And we need to find a new home for the coil. That is the other issue. And other than that, EGR delete plate, that's been ordered, so that's going to go on. And I think that's it. Do a little bit of massaging in here. Probably going to need like a rubber mat or something, but the way that the outlet of the blower is angled is really close to the frame rail, and I feel like ultimately, if you're looking at this tubular K member, can actually loosen this off and shift the motor and everything over to the passenger side just a little bit. We've got the header to frame rail clearance here to come over, you know, even if it's just 1/4 of an inch, it's really all we need. So we're going to jack up the K-member, loosen off the K-member bolts, and see if we can't slide things over just a hair. What's that? What's the thread look? I think it might be maxed out, so. Got a lot of work done here. GoPro battery died a couple times and was fighting underneath the car. So if you look real close over here, you can see how close this blower is to the inner apron. And I think there's video footage of us massaging this area. And I guess the main thing that was a concern was the charge side. And the way that it comes out in the bottom here, it was really close to the frame rail, so we actually ended up loosening off the K-member bolts, because this does have a BMR tubular K-member, and we shifted the motor over as far as we could this way, and we had quite a bit of room, you know, even though we got the equal length headers, so there's more than enough room and clearance here, and we ended up getting just enough room on that side for everything. And we, despite things changing up a little bit in terms of orientation, we got the main pipe hooked up here going into the intercooler. We did have to cut in here and open this hole up some more because the orientation of the blower is down a little bit further than it was, and it's much closer to the inner apron. So this was already cut, and we figured, why not just cut a little bit more? We'll clean this up, get some rubber surround, probably end up with some sort of cover here, and ultimately that will fix everything up here. We'll be able to clean up all the wiring, get power distribution block hidden down here somewhere in this area. Then we'll be able to button everything up. Just gonna go ahead now and tighten up the intake manifold and snake my arm down in the underside here to get to the mid one, because that's a big pain in the ass. Need different bolts for the EGR, because with the EGR delete plate, the studs are way too long, as you can see. So just have to pick up some bolts. We'll just bolt it directly onto the intake manifold, and then we won't have to worry about the EGR anymore. And then it's just pretty much put back together. I need a new idler pulley here for the tensioner, because that one was just not turning so hot. So we get that, get these hoses clamped back on, and we'll be good to install belts and fire this thing back up. How do you feel?
I'm just glad I have AC now.
Well, you still got to take out the dash, the heater box, pressure switch, AC lines, but the compressor is here. Compressor is there. So probably have to do a second and final part on this conversion process. And, you know, in hindsight, we were talking about it as we were snacking. Probably should have sold the Pro Charger and went with a Vortec, but Pro Charger was here. It is a pretty cool setup, and you can say you did it. So until next time, we'll see you back.